Today we'll be learning to paint and talking about the different types of paint we have. There are three main types of paint we'll be using in elementary art. The first, most common one you'll see is watercolor painting. Watercolor paint is very similar to tempera paint, which is this right here. It is water soluble. That means when you add water to it, it wakes it up. The difference, watercolor paint is more transparent. It means you can see through it. When you paint with watercolor, you can see through to the paper very easily. Tempera paint is our second main kind that we'll be using. Tempera paint, otherwise known as tempera cakes, it's kind of like watercolor. You still have to wake it up with the water, but instead of it being transparent, it is a little bit more solid. It is opaque. You don't see through it. And then finally, we have acrylic. Acrylic paint is very solid. You can add water to it and make it look like tempera, but for the most part, it is thicker and it does not come off of your clothes. For today's demonstration, I'm going to be using tempera cakes. Our first step, we use our paintbrush. You swish, 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 and flick. Notice I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. You can't hear my brush. I go swish and flick. I'm going to take my water. I'm going to wake up a little bit. You don't need a lot, just a little like that. Once that's waking up, I'm going to go in, squish my brush, wash it, and wake up the rest. And you keep doing this till you wake up all the colors that you want. Today we'll be working with spiral lines. Spiral lines are very similar to the heart of Tahiti in Moana. If you want to remember a spiral line, think about the heart of Tahiti. Old Vincent Van Gogh spirals in his painting. So I'm going to start off with some orange. Get that paint on the tip of my brush. Be very careful with your brush. Have it on the tip. And start with a circle. When I'm about to close my circle, I'm going to loop around and make a spiral. We're going to keep doing this over and over. Circle, loop around, and spiral. I've seen some students do this, where they paint like that. You notice how fatter that is versus the nice fine line. You want to keep your brush on its tips. You're going to give your hairbrush a bad hair day. Imagine your brush was a ballerina. You do not want to break their feet. Keep the ballerina's toes at the very tip. Get a different color. And I'm going to go in and do a spiral on top. Maybe switch over to red. It on the top. The colors I'm using here, with the exception of this purple, are warm colors. Warm colors are colors that suggest heat, such as red, yellow, and orange, and pink. Technically, this purple is a warm color because it is more red than your traditional purple. When you paint it, it looks a little bit more pink, which is why it's a warm color. I'm going to keep doing this so you fill the entire page. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up some. To recap, we did a painting of spiral lines using warm colors. Our warm colors are red, yellow, orange, and pink. It is very important that when you are mixing colors, you do not mix your colors on the palette. You want to keep these always nice, neat, and orderly. So the way you do that is by rinsing your brush when you change colors each time. To recap that, you do swish and just like that. Make sure there's no paint coming out. You'll see it's kind of red still. So you want to wash this some more. And then you can do a different color.